welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be filming a what I eat in a day video, and I'm so excited because I haven't filmed one in at least 7 months. So let's just get right into it because I have so many recipes to share with you guys. So before going to the grocery store or anything, I always like to write out a list because I am somebody who can shop with my eyes, and to avoid doing that so I'm not wasting money or just, buying things out of impulse, I always create a list of food items I'd actually want and just whole on meals as well. So everything you see me picking up at the grocery store is quite intentional because I know exactly what I wanted to prepare this week and eat this day. Like lately I've been craving salads, sandwiches, and smoothies, so those were like the main ingredients I got, along with other things so I can have snacks as well. Also, could we acknowledge this bread being 69 cents and it's the store's freshly baked bread? I mean, yes! Okay, let's get into breakfast because breakfast was honestly my favorite meal today, and I'm still not over it. So for breakfast, I decided I wanted to make my own homemade breakfast sandwiches because I am a sandwich girly all the way through. You hand me a sandwich and it's the best time of my life. So for this breakfast sandwich, I decided to use sausage, cheese, egg, and English muffins. At first, I was going to use bagels, but then I realized I think I like the texture of English muffins more as they're just a little bit softer and they just give the breakfast sandwich a nice flavor, especially with sausage. I've been experimenting with new ways to cook eggs, and this has got to be my favorite. Like a mix between a fried and scrambled egg because you break the yolk and you just fry the egg the rest of the way, and it is perfect. The egg is still soft and very moist. Now for my smoothie, I've also been experimenting with adding creamer instead of milk because it gives it like a sweetness and also that creamy texture, and I also would recommend this. It's perfect. It's a nice balance, so you don't have to add too much because I do have lactose intolerance, so I can't have too much dairy, but I can have a hint, and this hint is perfect. Anywho, so that's my breakfast for today. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. It didn't blend all the way, so I had to reblend, but look how good that smoothie looks. Anywho, I think this is my favorite breakfast, and I'm so happy I decided to get the ingredients to make it because it turned out so flavorful, and yes, the smoothie as well was perfect. Okay, so I finished eating breakfast and it was so good. It was so delicious. The breakfast sausage had so much flavor. I thought I would have to like season it a little bit because I didn't know if it came already pre-seasoned, but it did. So I didn't have to season it at all. I just threw it on there. The egg as well with a little bit of cheese. I really like how I cooked the egg rather than like scrambling it as a whole in a bowl. I scrambled it directly in the pan, and I feel like that makes such a nice difference. It reminded me of like an egg McMuffin in 2008, like when they were actually like, ooh, this got some bite to it. It was generally such a good breakfast sandwich, and I'm actually gonna end up making a lot more and just have them in my freezer whenever there's those days when I'm just a little bit lazy and don't really feel like getting up to cook a whole breakfast. I can just take it out of the freezer, put it in like the air fryer maybe, or just separate everything and just like kind of reheat it in a pan. I think I'm gonna do that because it not only did it fill me up, like I feel very satisfied right now, especially with the smoothie on this side, but it just actually was so tasty. Right now we're just gonna start prepping some things for lunch because it is gonna take a little bit of prepping because I'm making a Caesar salad, but I don't have croutons because I like to make my own croutons actually. I use like sourdough bread and then I add some seasonings to it, some oil, and then I put it in the air fryer to crisp up. And then I'm also going to be making a cherry vanilla syrup because I want to make cherry cola. I've been seeing them on my Pinterest and I actually do need that. Like I love that. So let's start prepping the syrup and the croutons. Before I get started, I wrote down like a quick recipe so I can be able to link it down below for you guys. Okay, so for some reason my mic is not working, so I'm just gonna have to record on my iPad. So for my cherry syrup, I basically just added a bunch of frozen cherries, vanilla. I actually ended up adding more vanilla. I was originally gonna add only half a teaspoon, but I ended up adding a whole teaspoon just to enhance the vanilla flavor along with the cherries. I let it boil until it was about a simple syrup consistency, and then I removed it from the heat to cool off a bit. Now for my sourdough croutons, I cut I think 1.5 slices of sourdough bread up into cubes and then drizzle them with olive oil. It's really important that you really heavily coat each piece of bread with the olive oil so it toasts quite nicely. As for my seasonings, I added salt, pepper, and a garlic seasoning. And don't be like me and add the same amount. I adjusted the recipe in the description to add less salt because I did put a little bit too much salt to a point where I was like, woo, but it was still very tasty. Now for the air fry, if you choose to use an air fry, I would recommend 360 for about 8 minutes. 19 minutes was a bit too long, but 8 minutes was just perfect. And as you can see, they're so crispy and they look delicious. Okay, so I know I said lunch was gonna be Caesar salad, but my mom ended up getting shells from Taco Bell, the nacho cheese ones, and we ended up making homemade tacos with them. But don't worry, I'm still gonna make the Caesar salad later, but this was so good. I had 4 tacos and they all hit different. Okay, now we're moving on to dinner, and dinner was so good. I literally have a whole yap session later on in the video about how good dinner was today. Anywho, it was basically just a BLT sandwich, but I love BLT sandwiches because you can never really go wrong with them. Today's dinner was a BLT, and although it's quite simple, I feel like bacon, lettuce, and tomato, you can really never go wrong with it. The lettuce gives you a nice refresh, the tomato adds moisture, and the bacon just adds saltiness and such a nice flavor to the whole sandwich. I always make sure to add a very hefty amount of mayo and mustard because I love both. And pro tip, if you ever use lettuce in salads or in sandwiches, make sure you let it kind of sit in ice water for a couple hours so it gets like nice and crunchy. I realized I wanted just a little bit more protein on my sandwich, so I had this chicken deli meat that I got from Sprouts that I just added on the sandwich just for, you know, the extra protein and extra flavor as well. If you're like me and like having sides with your food, I would highly recommend using a tray. It just makes it so much easier with carrying your food here and there so you don't have to do multiple trips. I know that's like kind of a random thing, but it definitely helps. Now I'm assembling my cherry cola. I added about 1.5 tablespoons. The 1.5 tablespoons with 8 ounces of drink is the perfect ratio. Our dinner is ready. We finally made our cherry cola and I'm so excited to try it. For my little like side snack, I have salted watermelon. I know that sounds like random, but I really like to add like salt onto watermelon. It really brings out the sweetness of it and it just tastes so and then you squeeze lime on it. Perfect. Please try this if you like watermelon. I recently got into watermelon and I love pairing it this way. And then I have my sandwich, which I already took a bite of. So it's a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich with mayo, mustard, and chicken deli meat as well. So that is what I'm having, and yeah, let's try it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try the cola first. Let's see. I added like mint for decoration. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that is really good. I don't know, let me see what the name of that brand is, hold on. If you've ever had a Dr. Brown soda, like the cherry cola, it's called a black cherry cola. If you've ever had that, that's exactly what this tastes like. And I love how this tastes. It tastes so good. The cherry really pairs well with the cola. I think I added just the perfect amount. I added about 1.5 tablespoons to make sure that the flavor was there. And I think it works really nicely with black cherry or like a dark cherry rather than like the ones they sell in those jars. With a dark cherry, it really brings out the flavor of the cola and they pair so nicely. And I just love this. Lime in here as well, because I'm somebody who really loves like lime flavored anything. So I know cherry and lime goes together quite well. So let's see. Ooh. Oh my god, that is Flavor Town. I'm gonna leave this recipe down below. So if you guys want to try it, please try it and let me know how it tastes. So I would say use about 1.5 tablespoons with 8 ounces of cola. I would highly recommend. Now let's get into this watermelon that's salted. Okay, so here's my salted watermelon. Of course, I gotta add my lime. My fork is really broken. I don't know how that happened. Let's try this. I can't even describe the flavor of this. Obviously, if you know how watermelon tastes, it tastes like watermelon. But the salt and lime, hold on. What is that flavor? It brings out the flavor of the watermelon in a sour way, but also it emphasizes the sweetness. I don't know how to describe that, but it's perfect. It's super refreshing. And with the lime and watermelon always just go together. They go together. Ew, look at that cube. It's perfect. If you guys do try this, please let me know. Yeah, like I would love to know if you guys liked it or not. I literally had to stop myself from eating that watermelon. I was about to finish it. Let's get into the sandwich. Let's try this out. I'm using a bread I got from Sprouts. It's like their freshly baked breads. When I say I want a sandwich, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The tomato, the bacon, and the lettuce, perfect pair. Of course, they all bring out all of their flavors. And then the bacon, salty, it's appley. It's so good. You can never really go wrong with the BLT. So that's why it's always my go-to sandwich. Yes, dinner is so good today. I'm so happy with my dinner. So let's continue eating while we watch a regular show. So it's almost like 3 a.m. So I'm having a snack. I'm having my Caesar salad finally, because I said I was gonna have it today, but I ended up having the tacos for lunch because my mom, she was like, oh, well, like we should use the taco meat. So I was like, yeah, you're right. So this is what I'm having now. It's like my little like before bed snack. I'm so excited because, you know, I mean, earlier today we made the croutons. So now we get to see if they actually are pretty good. I love Caesar salads. They're my favorite type of salad. They're so simple because you just literally put Parmesan, the Caesar dressing, and croutons. It's perfect. The dressing I'm using I got from Sprouts, and it's a vegan dressing. And I honestly didn't think it would have a lot of flavor to it, but it tastes exactly like regular Caesar dressing without like the fish, because I do have a fish allergy, so I can't really have it. And you know, I'm lactose intolerant, even though I do have Parmesan here. I don't know if this makes sense, but there is a difference between like a cheese tolerance and like a milk tolerance. I can tolerate cheese, but I can't tolerate milk at all. Like at all. I think maybe because it's aged, maybe? I don't know. I had my lettuce soaking in cold water for at least like 12 hours, I think. I think it actually ended up making the salad taste even better since I was able to like soak it and have all the components like sit for a little time. Also, I'm using my own plate. I made this plate in pottery class, and look how cute. I wanted something quite small for just like small bites or like little snacks. It's like the same length as my hand, but obviously the width is bigger. I'm having a salad with my own homemade croutons with the plate I made. Oh my goodness, I'm living life. I absolutely cleared that salad. It was so good. I love salads. Me and salad like this. I will always order a salad. My favorite restaurant actually just got rid of my favorite salad. It was a Cobb salad, but like a southern style. So it had like braised pork belly that was fried on the outside. So like in the middle was very soft. It was like tender. It had like a tender outside, and then it also had cornbread and blue cheese. It was so good, and they removed it from the menu. Like, why would you do? Anyways, yes, I love salads, but that was all for this video. I just wanted to share some of my favorite simple meals, or just meals that I just really enjoy because they taste really good. They're easy to make, and yeah, they just make you feel so warm. I love foods that make me feel warm and nostalgic. And we're gonna continue this series because soups. Oh, I can get into a soup. I want to share so many soup recipes. And yeah, so that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and got some inspiration. I'll make sure to link any recipes down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Goodbye, and I'll see you in my next one.